and other frequencies across Liberia. I guess my brother and friend Summer George is in Liberia now after traveling to Dubai to sign a milestone agreement with the people of that country for support and inter-related partnership with LBS. When I spoke to my brother a while ago, 3 hours ago, he was in Accra. But I know when Oscar Airline leaves Ghana, it lands in Liberia after 5:30 though. I may be wrong. If you are in the country, Summer George and Cecilia Gringley Clark, welcome back to the country. I'm the son of the warrior. My name is Kiang Balakblu. Better say coming Yale one to cow. Or you coming Ninagnapo. Your name is Jallah Emmanuel Nikki Kalufagala Kiang Malakblu Yale one to cow Zubogoma. Quila Gnagnapo Grayfield. Gnagnapo in a pellet vernacular means mosquito poo. Have you ever seen a mosquito poo before? No. And you go to Lofaka, they come in Zobo. I'm the son of a warrior. And you go to Foya district, my name is Halisa. The man who prayed for us here in Kisi today was there when that name was conferred on me. Or bestowed on me, rather. Welcome to the Bumper Show. These are some of the trending issues coming up very shortly. Even the millions of locals will eat our put it back. For the third International Community Health Workers Program. One of the representatives is in studio right now. I will talk to him for some minutes, up to 1 hour. Even if 1 minute is taken away from his time, I will replenish 1 or 2 hours, or 1 or 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes will be replaced. The Liberian National Community Health Program has gradually advanced and made significant progress since 2014. What are they involved in? A representative is here to talk about that. Then on the flip side of 5 o'clock, one of the youth leaders of the CDC, Rhonda Dubayu, EPA Deputy Director General, the youngest scientist in our country will be in the studio with the Assistant Minister of Ministry of Internal Affairs, Shaka Sharida, will sit on his platform and will do a post-sonar discussion. Then I'll put it go away. Let me pause right here. And it's Tama is here. He will pray for us in Kisi. Usually we'll ask these guys to come and pray for us in the vernacular. And they will pray for the president, pray for the vice president, pray for all Liberians, and pray for the peace of our country just in a minute. And it allows us.
Halisa inse no ali piano masa no meneka o palendo ning meneka funya na chuchu balikale kende no mde balikale lending kinale balikale yo mun kinao balikale kala to ala ngomela ndo ulendinde nindang balikale simla chin kinao balika lena hotan kumbi balikale keke balikale palen balikale pangi Sunsu masanom neka manum lending uba komna no pombo vanacho boleng chesawani ndu anyenye dat me minister ya director ya o funanda yejela meka kenda kpaya kenda kokalo atasio meneka nyenye no tuwo le huno aso nkoko pakan ulendending o palendo ning o chodi ani nintike odo ya jisulan ning e pesando audio la jisulan ning meneka mbanum la bela yaba ache fuiran huno keke wanana no tuwo e huno asom wondum meka sori wana kanateng manganda kotang jisu kiriti ache program do ho wana chombe chila no chuno ma Jallah Grayfield mialo hindu Antoni da poi manum da oba opalen do huning meka mung ankirindung yapiene oda jisulanning. Amina.
Amen. Malika Ibalika. Malika Ibalika. You know, I was in Foya some months back. 2 times I went to Foya. And my first time going to look for as a man was because Thomas Pagai Fala took me there. And we're all there involved in the elections abroad. Joseph battled Jallah to power. A.B. Wayne and I were there. But welcome to the bumper show. You know, I can find my song. Protect our leaders. Are we finding out? This is a song that crowns it all. Then we'll go to the discussion.
It's a pleasure. Oh, Papa, the turning at the cat to go, turning at the guy, the turning at the guy, bro. Yeah, the makeup. Bagere to gala, Papa, to make up. Bagere to gala, Papa, to make up for me. I love to GP.
Oh, my friend and brother Gabriel Stark of the Stark Foundation has joined me from Central Monrovia, just on Carey Street there, Upper Carey Street. He watches the show. He listens very well. Nangla the man call me oh. When he said the man call me means please look over them, guard them, protect them. So PCK is asking God to protect our leaders. The President, His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. George Opomanek Bagugbe Sekoze, the Vice President, for Excellency, Neswakoko Mayo Joe Hawatilla, the Speaker, Honorable Dr. Buffett Chambers, the man from Maryland County, New Jerusalem, our Chief, the Protector of the Librarian Senate, all elected officials of our country, all our appointed officials. Kaya yala kaya nga o nangala, edo kafia kaya nga, nga begin with our mind to kaya nga. Welcome to the Bumper Show. We recognize you, the guys that will join you back. Ambassador Robert Haynes, the spokesman of the legislature, the honor that's the lower house, is watching me. Hilton Willajiro says, good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield. I'm following you from a proper corner in Logantown as a proper defender. The indomitable Natana G. Nathan II. I'm following you from my mentor, he says, from Fisher City, Regis County. Godwin Nicholas II. My favorite journalist, Mr. Grayfield. I'm watching live from Maryland County. Jamil Ross, I'm impressive. He says, thanks so kindly for your good work. Tito Swen says he's watching me from Santa Colin in Nimaka. I know he watches us from Radio San Queen. That really is a bumper show. Welcome to the Bumper Show. I want to read all of the comments that come in the initial time of the program. But let me recognize and welcome somebody who is special here. S. Olasfo Wia is the director of the National Community Health Program of Liberia at the Ministry of Health. Am I correct?
Right.
He's my guest on the program. On the first segment of the program, we'll talk about health. And after we shall talk about health, we'll come back and talk politics on the latter side of it. Talk about the President Sona where Rana Dubayu and E. Shakashari will come here. Let's discuss the son of the president. Let me say welcome, Mr. Well. How are you?
Thank you. I'm okay, Jallah.
How is the Ministry of Health?
I think the Minister of Health is doing well, especially as we have been able to survive the deadly scourge of the COVID-19, especially with collective effort from all of the stakeholders, and it's very strong support from the president as well. So the minister, Honorable Dr. Jallah, is leading very well, and we are very proud of her leadership.
Yeah, I'm also proud of her. And the gains we made in the health sector.
A lot
So,
of gains.
I'm so elated. And the last time I checked, I was listening to the minister and her team here with Sabo George. Knowing fully well that, can you imagine, before the Georgia government, we have 15 ambulances. Now the government boosts us 75 ambulances across the country. That's a big boost.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, there have been a lot of work being done since the inception of this government, and they continue to do more. I mean, there are still a lot of challenges, but the minister, through her own leadership, doesn't really see challenges. She see opportunities in those challenges, that
And
is
she
what.
also sees progress.
Yes, then those are positive, things from the minister that we, as her technical people, take on the mantle to be able to make sure that we achieve, we bring to life her desire and her dream and the aspiration for the Ministry of Health, and for the government of Liberia as well.
Thank you so very kindly. I'm so elated to have you. And we'll be talking about the third International Community Health Worker Program Symposium that will be coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, so let me welcome Mr. Lawrence Anaway. He says, good job, brother. Mr. Juju Wanaware is watching from Johnsonville. Prince Zion is watching from Maggie. Ruth B. Day is watching from where? Pueblo Road. John Toby says, good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield. Following you from Newtown. Welcome to the Bumper Show. You are having this International Community Health Worker Symposium. Bring up to speed about the celebration, what you have.
Well, the third International Community Health Workers Symposium is scheduled to be hosted here in Liberia, March 20 to 24, and it's one of the biggest health-related conference that will ever be held in Liberia. This is a conference that is held once every 2 years, and it is a global event. It is usually organized by a country that wins the bid to host that event, and those that are responsible for the making sure that a country is positioned to hosting the symposium is the health system global. So this is one of the newest international events, a global event that is around the world now, to making sure that community health worker voices are heard at the highest level possible. The first was held in Uganda in 2017, and the second was held in Bangladesh in 2019. We attended those events, especially the one in Bangladesh. And at the end of the activity in Bangladesh, we as a country submitted our bid to host the third event, and we won that bid in 2020. But we were to host the event in 2020, but because of the COVID, so we were asked to put a hold to it. Now we have been given the opportunity, the clearance to move ahead with it, And so it is scheduled for March 20 to 24 of this year. It is intended to bring together over 40 different countries from around the world.
And the venue is in Liberia?
It's in Liberia at the EGS
Wow.
Ministerial Complex.
How
Over
did
600
How
delegates.
did he get these delegates come to Liberia? A country that was considered as a pariah state, though, it's been transformed now under President George Weah. I mean, Ellen started that on a Madam Salif. But how did he attract these individuals from all the countries come to Liberia?
Well, Liberia, the thing about it is the community health program in Liberia is an exemplar program.
Okay.
It's a program of excellence. Liberia now stands among the first 5 in Africa that has a very strong and well organized community health program. And so when we submitted our bid to host this event, we were given the opportunity, and we have been working with a wide range of stakeholders to be able to help us to have a successful event here in Monrovia. We are working currently with USAID, UNICEF, LASMA Health, the World Bank, Global Fund. We have the Susan Buffett Foundation. We have IRC. We have Partners in Health. We have the Health System Global, the Community Health Roadmap. So a whole wide range of stakeholders that are working with us, the Ministry of Health. And my division at the ministry is responsible for the hosting of this with guidance from the minister.
So I'm asking, so what are the contributions of Last Mass Health and Partners in Health and all the other health-related NGOs into this whole program?
So they are providing both financial and technical support to the organization of this event. Lasma Health is one of the traditional partners that we've been working with in Liberia since 2016. PIH have been around supporting the community health program in the counties. So with all of our traditional partners, we are very confident that the kind of support, both technical and financial support they are providing, we are confident that we can be able to host a successful event comes March 20th.
March 20th. And it is at the Ellen Johnson Sully Ministerial Complex.
Right.
What is the government of Liberia contribution? I know it's from the Ministry of Health, but then what are you planning locally for Liberia before to receive? Is that 600 delegates?
Yeah, so it's the total number is 600 delegates.
That's a very big program.
400 from out of Liberia and 200 from in country.
So they'll be jetting in Liberia to just say for how many days?
So it's a 1 week activity, but we have 2 days pre-conference for that will be focused only on the country delegates that will be coming in, and then the main event will start on Wednesday and end on Friday of the week. So we have different countries. We have countries from in Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from the Middle East, from the Americas, all over the globe that will be representing. Besides that, we have bilateral institutions. As I mentioned, the USAID, we are also sending out an invitation to some of the missions, the foreign missions here accredited to Monrovia. And there are other regional institutions that we are also reaching out to who have expressed their interest in participating into the conference, like the Africa CDC, for example, under the African Union, the West African Health Organization, WAHU, and other bilateral institutions. So it is indeed a big occasion, and this is made possible under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of Health. She have been leading the planning and discussion all along the way, and making sure that she pull all of the partners together, and making sure that she gets the support from all of the partners. But speaking more to what the government is doing, we have established an interministerial coordinating team. We have reached out to key line ministry, the Ministry of State, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Finance, the General Services Agency, Liberia, Bureau of Immigration and Naturalization, and as well as the National Police. GSA have been very gracious to lend their support, as well as all of the institutions just mentioned. So we'll be getting some logistic support from the government, and as well as other technical support. We also reached out to Mika. We're supposed to be, the minister is supposed to be providing some press briefing on the regular Mika stage.
Yeah, make a
Press briefing.
press briefing, right?
Yes, and we also have the media engagement component, which the director general is my good friend. We
Estelle.
were Estelle. We were all in the diplomatic school together.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that ERBC is leading some of these engagement with other media institutions. We currently hired an event planner to work with us, Golden Touch Corporation.
Okay.
Golden Touch is leading in terms of planning and implementation of the event. So at this point, I think we are well positioned to be able to host a successful event.
I will come to ask question about your launch in 2016.
Yep.
What impact you made in the lives of the people
Yep.
you're working with. But I'm still concerned about the delegates you are bringing in Liberia. Who pays for the lodging and feeding and everything? Is it on the shoulders of the Liberian government, or your international partners are helping to shoulder the cost of their living expenses and that of their feeding and everything? I mean that there is necessary allowances. What do you do? Who pays for that?
So part of the agreement or support that we receive from the partners that we are currently working with will cover some of will cover expenses for some of the country delegates. For example, we targeted 40 countries, but because of the demand from other countries, we've raising that number to 46 countries. Of the 46 countries, we have agreed with the partners to shoulder the responsibility of the travels and per diems of 30 countries. The remaining countries will be up for sponsorship, and we are definitely getting some positive signal from other institutions to support other country delegates. However, we have been very clear in the invitation that these countries will be able to reach out to their implementing partners in their various countries to also cover those individuals that are not currently covered on our symposium budget. So we can say with the arrangement in place, we are very much positive that we will have all of our guests in country.
So positive. But you launched this program in 2016. Tell us of the progress you made and how many lives have you transformed? Knocking at the doors of individuals. What have you done for these individuals you've been engaged with? And what can you boast of in terms of achievements?
Right. So firstly, we need to understand how our community health program came to being. Before the Ebola crisis, there was community health program in Liberia, but it was very much fragmented, disorganized, and everyone was just doing their own thing. And the government thought it was important to, because of the lesson learned from the Ebola crisis, and the way we worked with the communities to be able to deal with the crisis, the government thought this was the way that if we are to have a very strong foundation in the health system, we must be able to invest into community health. So what the government did was to pull all of the stakeholders together and came up with this idea that, okay, let's move our health system in this new direction. And so in 2016, the then president launched the community health program. Between 2016 to 2018, there was still a gradual, achievement being made.
Okay.
By 2018, we've seen some massive improvement in the kind of work that we do. Let me firstly let you know what are some of the things that we do at the community level. Our community health program currently focus in rural communities.
Okay.
We have 4 modules currently that is currently ongoing revision. Of that 4 modules, module 1 deals with community engagement and surveillance. In module 2, we deal with maternal and health, reproductive health. Module 3 deals with child health, that is the integrated community case management. And then module 4 deals with other disease condition. So over the years, we train, we go to the community, we work with them, and then they give us names of individuals from their own community. We train them, and equip them, and send them back to their own community to serve their community. We also have professional health workers who serve as supervisors to these community health workers. They are trained in our modular curriculum. And it is expected that, for example, a community health worker is expected to identify a pregnant woman, follow her through, make sure she visit the facility for ANC and safe delivery. A community health worker is responsible to make sure that they identify children under 5 and treat them for malaria, diarrhea, and pneumonia. We also identify cases of malnutrition in children and refer them. So basically, our function is to create the demand for the healthcare facility and not necessarily to take on the responsibility of the facility. So we identify cases in the community and make timely referral. And that's why we were able to deal with the COVID-19 the way, we were successful in dealing with, because community health workers were there identifying cases as soon as a start to show face in their community and report them. Yeah.
And so what happened? COVID came as a result of what's happening around the world. But again, Liberia was rated amongst 3 countries in West Africa that made significant progress in fighting COVID.
Right.
Yeah. So that one of the reasons why you say have this support base.
Right. It's because of the community health program. Because the community health workers were there. At the start of the COVID-19, health facility staff were hesitant because there were a lot of uncertainties. But we have already trained our community health workers to be able to deal with issues of uncertainties. So the fact that they were in their own community, we quickly were able to mobilize among the partners to provide some quick training for them and prepare them to be able to deal with these things in their community. Let me give you some statistics to
Please do.
between 2018 to 2022, the population of 1.5 million rural population, that's the population we serve up to 2022. 70% of that population was being reached. Okay. So we expanded access to basic community health services up to 70% of that population. And interestingly, 25% of all rapid diagnostic tests that is done in Liberia as of 2021, 2022, 25% is being done by community health workers. Malaria rapid diagnosis. That's RDD. By 2022, we had 50% of all malaria cases were being identified by community health workers and treated by them using the basic malaria drugs that we use, the ACT, in the community. So we can see that by 2022, December 2022, a total of 619,233 cases of malaria were treated by these community health workers. 182,560 cases of pneumonia were treated for children under 5, and 122,110 cases of diarrhea were treated by these community health assistants. While about 1.1 million children were identified for malnutrition cases and referred to the health facility for management. Currently, as we speak, we were not in all districts and all a majority of the communities around the country, but as of between 2018 to 2022, we began a massive scale up of the program. So as we speak, by December 2022, we have scaled up to 6,333 communities, 89 health districts.
That is in the entire country?
In the entire country, 6,333.
That was triggering my next question, though.
Yeah, 6,333 rural communities, 89 health districts, and within all 15 counties. Currently, as we speak, we have around 4,491 community health assistants. We have about 469 community health services supervisors, and we have about 5,060 community health volunteers that we currently refer to as community health promoters. So the program continues to make steady but gradual improvement over the years.
So with this, all of this you have said, it means that you are moving somewhere just in a year with accelerated speed. So now, I know you have some challenges, and those challenges range from maybe mobility, in terms of payment for, salaries for people who work in the system, but it has an international nomenclature, International Community Health Workers Program. What about those who work in the system in terms of honorariums, in terms of salary? What do they receive? Are they motivated? Are they demotivated? Which one?
So currently, the way our community health program is designed is a bit, as I mentioned, different from other countries. And we saw that after the Ebola, that it is not practical to have people working and you can pay them. Volunteerism will always be there, but to have someone to focus on a specific work over a long period of time, there must be some remuneration. Sorry. So the government decided to pay community health assistant. So currently we pay them $70 per month. It's not much, but at least it's something that they do appreciate.
It is not a full-time thing.
It is not a full-time job, but they are expected to spend 4 hours every day in their own community. That's why we don't take them from different communities. So, for example, I'm from Zubatown community. My community leader select me through a guided process.
A competitive guided process.
Yes. And then my name is submitted to the Ministry of Health, and then the Ministry of Health trained me. Then I go back to Zubatown community too. Because I'm living there, I'm a resident of that community, so I'm to spend 4 hours every day to work with my community and be able to handle the health of the community. At the end of the month, I get $70 from the government through different partners initiative. So, and as I mentioned again, we have supervisors who are nurses, midwives, and physician assistants. These ones are also paid on a monthly basis. They sign contract with the Ministry of Health, with the government of Liberia, and the community health assistant sign contract with the local authority, the county health team. And so that have been going on since 2016 up to now. Of course, there are challenges. I mean, one of the major challenges we are faced with is the issue of ensuring that we provide the needed adequate supply in terms of drugs, because we provide them with medication to be able to treat children under 5. So that have been a major problem for the program since 2016, but gradually we are getting there with support from Global Fund, USAID, and other stakeholders to help us to be able to deal with this particular major issue.
Now, so how many counties are you operating in? Can you tell me say how many counties you're operating in? Because others like me who are listening want to know where
Yeah.
are you operating from?
So we are
What
currently covering all counties,
all
all
15
15. So
counties.
Maserati was completely left out of the entire process from the beginning. But when we came in, we said no. It doesn't make sense, because Maserati do have rural communities. So we were able to secure some funding from Global Fund. And now, as we speak, we started to scale up in Maserati from 2021. So as I speak to you now, there is the last batch of training for community health workers being done currently for Maserati. So we are covering 4 of the rural district in Maserati. That's St. Paul district, Carisburg, Todi, and Commonwealth districts. These are the 4 rural health districts in Maserati that we are currently scaling up to.
Now, I'm reading from here that this third international symposium is critical and will be built on the Asanta Declaration 2019. The African Union's call for 2 million community health workers. In 2022, the ongoing global conversation around pandemic preparedness and response. How do you relate that to the audience those who listen to you right now?
So the Astana Declaration, there was this World Health Assembly that were held in Astana in 2019. There, the entire world took up a position to focus their attention and invest into community health. It was at that event that the WHO launched, for the first of its kind, a guideline for community health workers program. The African Union have also of recent launched an initiative for ensuring that we recruit 2 million community health workers on the African continent, and Liberia is benefiting hugely also from that initiative from the African Union. As we talk about the pandemic, right? I mean, there have been lot of international discussion on how to strengthen the various communities. How can we be able to use the community health workers program to be able to serve as an eye in the communities, identifying cases. So this symposium is building on those previous conversations, and to be able to identify and discuss more in depth what can we do as a global community. What can we do to be able to take us from where we are to where we intend to go if we are to achieve the SDG 3 target as for universal health coverage.
Who is this whole symposium open to? It's open to all Liberians, all of those in your supervision.
So it's open to basically it will be based on invitation, and there will be also an abstract process for those who will submit abstracts to present scientific papers. But majority of the numbers there will be based on invitation. So we are definitely open to ensuring that the health sector is well positioned in that conference. But we are also reaching out to the media, civil society organizations, as well as the private sector, to also be able to be part of the entire process. So besides those coming from out of the country, the country delegates and other institutions, within the country, we are spreading out to ensure that we have a different category of participants.
If you just join us, visit the program called The Bumper Show on ELBC Radio. We are speaking to S. Olasfo Wia, Director, National Community Health Program of Liberia at the Ministry of Health. He's our guest. We'll go to the lines very shortly to pose some questions to him. But in terms of sustainability of the program, Mr. Olasfo, Mr. Wia, what is it? How are the health workers themselves taking this program? Do they take as their own and say this belongs to us? It's our passion that brings this, our brothers one out, or do they disperse you guys who are heading the program and say, hey, I'm working in a health center, but it doesn't concern me?
So the community health program is a unique pillar of the health system. Our program have made sure that it may interest you, Jallah, to know that our community health program is one of the largest grassroots employment scheme for the government. We have over 7,000 community health workers.
Okay.
We have over 4,000 community health assistants. We have over 400 supervisors, and we have over 5,000 community health promoters. So putting all of those numbers together, it's a very huge constituent of the health system, and at the very grassroots level. Now, speaking to a lot of community health workers, they will tell you how important this program is to them. Besides, speaking to the stakeholders, the town chiefs, the paramount chiefs, the mothers, the youth and women group in the various communities, they tell you how important, how impactful this program have been since its inception. And we do intend to continue down this road because we know this will make sure that Liberia achieve its 2030 targets when it comes to the universal health coverage. So it is a strong pillar of the health system, and is being one of the program that the ministry keep as very dear to its heart.
Now, finally, as I go to the line, what is the reception like in terms of going to the counties? How are the people accepting you? Do they really offer themselves? Do they open up to you as community people, health workers who go to talk to them and to treat them with minor illnesses? Do they really open to you?
Sure.
Are they shy you because they get some illnesses they want you to know? They say no, we can't say they put a kind of, so let me handle ourselves. What does it? How does it look like?
So that's why I said from the beginning, we don't take somebody from community A and carry them to community B. So we go to the community, we have some discussion with them, and then they look among their own children and give us one of them to train that person, and that person go back to serve their own community. So it means that the person they're giving us, they must have trust and confidence in that person. And that person is trained and sent back to their community. They then begin to serve their community. So we have not experienced any incidents where the community people start to reject or fight against their own people that they gave us to train. Obviously, there will be some, issues along the way, but there is no incident that since we started that, this community have come out, they don't want this person, they don't want that person. Whenever a community have some issues with their community health worker, we deal with it readily. But that have not really been the case since then. That's why, as a policy, it is a strict policy that the community must be responsible to select their own person, the person that they trust, that we can train and send them back.
Thank you, Mr. Olasfo Wia is the director of the National Community Health Program of Liberia at the Ministry of Health. He is my guest. I'm told by Assistant Minister E. Shaka Sharif that he's on the compound here already at LBS. And then he'll be joined by Rana Dubayu, a young leader of the CDC. We're talking post-Sona here. But if you want to participate, you who are listening to the radio, via radio or television, make your comments and Mr. Weah will answer your questions. 080514096, 080514096, 0776 077056056, 077056056, 080514096. Or better still call me on 077056056. These are educated programs that let people to listen and call and be educated. The other time I'm here, then I listen to Dr. Jerry Brown. I don't know how many of our mothers or fathers listen to that. That when a child is at the age of 9, she stands the risk of contracting cancer in the breast. Bring your children to JFA and do free cancer testing and vaccination. I don't know how many persons go there.
Yes.
Our people love to listen to politics. Once there is not politics, they will not discuss it. But few of them love to listen to economic issues. The way you brought it to right now about all the other things, they want to listen. But once it's a politics, you see, all the language will be breaking all along. But again, that's how it looks like in Liberia. Hello, welcome. You live?
Hello?
Yes, welcome. You live on the Bumper Show.
Yeah, my name is Michael Jabo.
Yes.
I'm calling from Monrovia.
Okay, my God.
I want to give the Ministry of Health to appreciate them for their numerous contributions. Initially, when the COVID broke up in Liberia, other experts said that they were the best. They handled the Ebola, so they were the best. They should call them home, and that the current team that fought the COVID, they couldn't fight the COVID to save Liberia. But we all are witness to how they operate, how they work, and that proved that Liberia have a vibrant health team, and that gave all the chance. Here, what we hear today, that Liberia is about to host the entire world in Monrovia.
Yeah.
It's called Health Matter to save people's lives. So I think that on the health sector, this government is doing well, and we need to commend them. So thank you so much. We are following, and we see the outcome of the summit that you
Thank you. It's a symposium, but thank you for the time, brother. You know, there's so many things I'm thinking with one person. We was in opposition. You know, there was this whole issue about but listen, there were things that were done. Oh, somebody's calling me. Let me get this next call. Hello, welcome.
Hello?
Hello, you live on the Bumper Show.
Okay, thank you. This is Mr. Fufi. I'm monitoring the program from Johnsonville.
Johnsonville, welcome to Pinsville.
Yeah, I just heard you talking about breast cancer for children around 9 years or so. I never thought I was around 10. Could you just repeat what you just
No,
said?
I was listening to the radio the other day. Dr. Jerry Brown, GFK has a program on his radio. It's called GFK Hour, right? And I love to listen to these educative programs. I didn't really listen to political programs. I want to listen to educative programs. But I listened to Dr. Jerry Brown from the GFK. He said, there is a vaccine that is administered at JFK for children between 9 years to 23 years old. And that vaccine is free of charge. What it does, it decreases the chances of a children or adult getting breast cancer before you get in your old age. So it is there free of charge at JFK. You pay more, get your children there to go to take the vaccine free.
Okay, is there any time frame or?
No, I'm told it's a whole year process running. I don't know the details, but I'm saying to you what I learned that day. He spoke for almost 1 hour. For that 1 hour, the only thing I learned was that thing that you get free treatment at JFK, free vaccine. When a child between 9 years to 23 years old, carry a child there, and they will get vaccinated free of charge.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
What it does, it prevents breast cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
They try to boost their system.
Yeah, that's so I just say now in continuation what my brother we are saying here. Okay, thank you. 07056056056, 08066803730, 080514096. These are the numbers to call me and talk to my friend and brother Olasfo. He's here. He's my guest on the Bumper Show. As I say to you, sometimes these Yeah, people love political shows, but I love to listen to educated shows. If I had not listened to Dr. Jerry Brown that day on his health ad, I was driving from town, but I wanted to play music. I was listening to the show when I got here that day. But I gotta know that so someone is being educated today as a result of what I heard. You know, let's take some. Let me just announce the numbers for the last few minutes again. 080514096, 0770560560, 08066800373 are the numbers to call. Let me take this caller. That's Mercy Tama. Mercy Tama, welcome from the, how you call it, a Green Revolution or what? Mercy, welcome. How are you?
Let me appreciate your senior guest. I'm currently at the groundbreaking ceremony at Clarendon Feast this evening.
What happened in there?
Yeah, and Jallah, let me appreciate your senior guest.
What happened at Clarendon Fee?
Doing breaking at Clarendon Feast to face the feet that they were in Western Feet.
Oh, only the government library, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, let me appreciate your senior guest. I think you spoke well after she employed you for that. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, Mercy. The next caller, welcome you live. The next caller, welcome. How are you?
Oh, yes, I'm good. I'm Michelle Cooper from Jonathan Badro.
All right.
Yes, I'm listening to the show. And actually, it's very interesting of you taking this information and giving it up to the public. But I want to ask you a question. Because you said 9 years to 23. So, below 9 years are out protective housing, right?
It's 9 years or 23 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, but just, you need to contact the Ministry of Health, and that falls under the Ministry of Health because, GFA falls under Health Ministry. Maybe my brother or last 4 years will not have the information, but we're talking about health matters, so I just decided to bring that on board because that program is not a talk show that we do here. So not many people listen to it, but again, I'm just giving information. But I'll keep ironing it on the show when I'm here because I know it is about our country. Yeah. Thank you so much. Just visit GFA, ask GFA people about the vaccine that has to do with the health of the children who are women, girls, from 9 to 23 years old. When you take that vaccine, what it does is that it protects you from future breast cancer or whatsoever. Of course, that's what happens. Yeah. All right, thank you. Is this the same health related program I'm talking about? 080514096, 0770560560. Can you imagine? Dr. Jerry Brown sat on this radio. They talk for all day long. People call, right? Now people, they don't listen. I just in 1 minute passing. So you see how the radio is powerful? Anyway, I'll come to Dr. Jerry Brown, they have ministry who has bring some cash, they get the LBS, and say, this one, they have promotion for LBS. We can't, we just have 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, we'll go. They have bring some money. We are. Yeah. Let me talk to this caller. Hello? Hello, welcome. Oh, he gone off. I will take female calls. The assistant minister of at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Ishaka is here. We are expecting Randa Dubayu, Deputy Director General at the EPA, a young scientist, to join us in studio later to talk about the SONA. A post-SONA discussion comes on very shortly. President George Manawuya Gbagube addressed the nation on Monday, the 30th of this month, on his final lapse of his first 6-year term. Dr. Buffer Chambers calls it a commencement of his second term. And so we'll talk about SONA very shortly. Call me now, I'll take female calls. I think they'll take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and close up. 080514096, 0770560560, 0770560560, or you call me on 086 680 373. Welcome and call me again. We'll talk about these issues. I say have you Mr. S. Olasfowia, Director of the National Community Health Program of Liberia at the Ministry of Health. He is my guest on the Bumper Show. Let me go back to S. Olasfo we are as he tries to close this up. Mr. We are?
Yeah, thank you, Jallah. So I think
Mr. We, I think just switch a bit to the next seat because this microphone is giving some hollow sound. Yes, the next seat a bit better for me. It's very better for me because this is giving some very bad sound. It gives some bad sound. I'm gonna be there on Monday Radio. Let me call you back after. This is the Bumble Show on ERBC Radio 99.9 and other frequencies. Let me say hi to my Uncle Peter Jackson. He's monitoring me from somewhere. And you know, on this day, my valued listener on the Bumper Show is the director of the National Security Agency, Mr. Henrik Pearson. He's my valued listener on the show this today. Mr. Henrik Pearson, director of the National Security Agency, is my valued listener on the Bumper Show. Mr. We are?
Yeah.
I think so. We are getting there.
okay.
It's
so-
better now, yes.
Yeah, okay, good. So as I was saying, we as people, we should take pride in what we are about to witness in the next couple of months from now,
Okay.
because this is an opportunity that happens once in a blue moon for Liberia to have this opportunity to be able to showcase its work and provide a platform for other nations to be able to tell their story, and for them to come and learn from us as a people. I think is an opportunity that must be applauded, must be looked at as something very important, that not only from the standpoint of a government, but from the standpoint as a people, as a nation, because we have been able to do this together, and we believe that what the foundation that have been laid by us as a people is now attracting other nations to Liberia. We have had over 30, 40 countries coming here to learn. In fact, currently as I speak, we are now a member of the Africa CDC Technical Working Group on Community Health.
Oh, Africa CDC.
Yes, the Africa Center for Disease Control. We are member of that body as a technical member of the committee that deals with community health. And
Okay.
we have been providing technical support to other member states, helping them to develop their community health program. So it is a pride for us as a nation and as a government. We want to urge all of our collaborators, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of State, Finance, GSA, Police, Immigration, the MICA, to continue to support us and work with us so that we can make this a success. I also want to use this opportunity to express our profound thanks and appreciation to all of our stakeholders, our partners, the USAID, Global Fund, World Bank, the Susan Buffett Foundation, Last Mile Health, IRC, Clinton Health, PIH, Partners in Health, and the list go on. We want to also thank the Minister for her leadership in making sure that this happens. We are also grateful to the President of the Republic for giving us this opportunity and making sure that the Minister have what is needed to be able to drive this process as well. So this is a big thing for every one of us, and together we strongly believe that we can be able to achieve this milestone as a people.
Thank you so much, Mr. S. Olasfawea, Director, National Community Health Program of Liberia at the Ministry of Health. And I must admit, the Ministry of Health is just amongst a few ministries in the country. I say amongst, it means that the work you do as a ministry is just very excellent. I'm not looking down on any ministry or in the health sector. You people are doing well. I was so elated. I was just saying that yesterday on the panel, on Monday on the panel of discussing at the sauna. I was so blissful to hear that when the health ministry came, when Dr. Jallah came in 2018, we have only 15 ambulances in this country. Now we boast of 75 ambulances. 75 ambulances. It's a big boost to our country.
Sure.
I appreciate you. My regards to the Ministry of Health team. Thanks a million. Let me take this one.
Thank
Barrow
you, Jallah.
medicine. This one is called Barrow medicine.
6th Armed Forces Day celebration in partnership with Luster Cell MTN.
Oh, sorry. Remember, sorry. All right, let me get this one here for you.
Got a phone.
You can keep the blueprint, we will do the work. You can keep the blueprint, we will do the work. You can keep the blueprint, we will do the work. I wish you call me Barrow medicine. Everywhere you live, Barrow medicine. President, we are you live, Barrow medicine. Fork it, you live, Barrow medicine. Lion of Africa, Barrow medicine. Africa, black Jamal, Barrow medicine. The face of Africa, Barrow medicine. Liberia's pride, Barrow medicine. Bekube, you there, Barrow medicine. President, we are you there, Barrow medicine. Bring riches to our land, you there, Barrow medicine. Be papa, you not small papa, Barrow medicine. Be fellow mentor, papa, Barrow medicine. Did you love boy, you use it, Joseph?
Oh yes, the Jallah boy you used on my Roy Joseph, we were crying here and there.
Some Puebla, that is
You
it.
see Jallah boy on Pearland Road. What a man called Solomon. Oh, remember.
Your better medicine, it get juice, so it get juice that was.
Solomon where and man called
The cube, look on me.
Quincy T.Y. Julie, the ugliest man in Liberia.
Summa,
I say crew man ugly like vote. That man very ugly. See, they may open this second, people to laugh and run away.
you there, Barrow medicine.
Quincy T and myself were advocating for that road. No man, Daniel Nyangule was living there and were always advocating for that road. Every day on the radio would talk about Josephine Road. Puebla Josephine Road. Now it is a Mawata. Welcome to ASUS on ERBC Radio 99.9. The Assistant Minister at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, a very good discussion rather. Drop it. Yeah, how you know that job? You are going to say, drop it. When you die, don't worry. Beat it. Brother, what you say is somewhere around here. When last time he said he was around the Congo Town area, I know he's just around the ELDB area. Let me pause this when I come to Mr. E. Shaka Sharif. Mr. Minister, we want to take the next seat there. I'm hearing some very hollow sound in this microphone, and I don't want to use that. So we can just sit in the second seat. The boy comes to sit in the third. If anyone comes to sit on the fourth, I don't know what come on the fourth. I'm sitting on there, so so we are here. You know, the president of Liberia, His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Oppong-Manawia, addressed the legislature, the joint session of the legislature, as enshrined in the constitution of our country, that the president of Liberia must address the legislature on the fourth working Monday in January. So the president addressed the country just in time on Monday. I was fortunate to have spoken to some officials of the government. Amongst them was the Honorable Dr. Buffett Chimas. When he mounted the podium, I asked him, and I said, Honorable Dr. Chimas, the president is about to address the last of his first term mandate. He said, Jallah, this is a commencement of the president's second term. Let me say welcome to my friend and brother E. Shaka Sharif, a young intellectual gladiator. He comes from West Point. He's a West Pointer.
Actually, it's Negro Town.
Negro Town, sorry.
Yes, Negro Town.
Sorry. You were so magnanimous when you invited us, me and Watson Johnson to Negro Town. That's the place you go, you can credit and eat. He have food, say you go, he have money, you pocket, you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome, Mr.
Negro
Minister.
Town is a very good area. It's a pleasure to be here, Jallah. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to the people of Liberia. It's a good thing being here. I think this is my second time on this afternoon show, and the first time on your show here.
Thank you, Mr. Minister.
But I think you guys have done a marvelous good job here. The Director General, Madam Esther Liberty Kemo, and the on the whole management team, you guys have done a very good job here. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I would always like to be here.
As I wait, Mr. Ronald Dubayu, Mr. Minister, I want to sit back. You listen to the president so now, but you were even at the place and you listen to him. I want to say for 5 minutes, as you go through the speech, and I said it bit by bit in 5 minutes. What is it? Economy, it's health, it's about international relations, it's about youth empowerment, it's about whatsoever. Give your own perspective about the SONA.
Well, I was not opportune to be in Monrovia on
Okay.
a Monday. I was in Topmanburg, Bombing County. I had gone on Sunday to lay the groundwork for expounding on the president's State of the Nation address on
Okay.
early Tuesday morning. I mean, both pre and post Sona, and so I was there. But I captured every bit of it, and it was a marvelous speech. I mean, it was the longest Sona in probably in our history because it took account of a chronology of the president's working from 2018 up till now, and the president lays squarely before the legislature, the Liberian people's representatives, what he has done, and lay before them his legislative agenda for the ensuing year, as Article 58 of our Constitution demands. And so the president went directly into the program, and he entertained all of what was on the paper. And Chala, what caught my attention most was the president's sense of humor. Is his gesticulation. Imagine the president standing for 3 hours 20 minutes. His energy, the enthusiasm he carried with the speech. He talked about a lot of areas, the economy, healthcare, infrastructure. He talked about agriculture. He talked about youth empowerment, and all sorts of things. That the president has done. And the fundamental foundation of our economy, Jala, is road connectivity. Because once we have roads connected all across the country, the economy will boom, because in every county there will be revenues generated as a result of whether cash crops or food crops produced in the interior will be brought to not only Monrovia but urban areas. All of our cities are urban areas, but most of the times produce from the interior cannot get to urban areas, and at the end of the day, agriculturists lose most of their proceeds as a result of bad roads. Should we be talking about road in Liberia at about this time, Jala? I don't think so, because the country is 175 years old. This is a very old country, the oldest independent republic on the African continent. Should we be talking about road this time? I don't think so. But
since 1822.
Since 1822, since the foundation of the country. But now we're still talking about roads. And as the president lay it squarely, when he came to power, he met about 745 kilometers of road built across the country since 1847, meaning the other 23 or 24 presidents before George were able to do only 725 kilometers of our nearly 13,000 kilometers of road in this country. You understand that? Even the Unity Party government did less than 500 kilometers of road in 12 years. But in just 5 years, under 6 years of his first mandate, the president has been able to build over 400 kilometers of primary roads in this country. So And there are more roads under construction, like the one that just started, the Medina to Ravos Post Road. You understand that? And other roads in the southeast. Fundings have been secured as far as the president's State of the Nation address is concerned in terms of infrastructure, especially roads and bridges. And so the moment, or by the time the president will have ended his first term, his government will have paved over 500 to 600 kilometers of road, which definitely will be the most kilometer road constructed by a sitting president in his first term. And as I speak now, in 5 years' time, this president has built more roads than any other president's government in their first 5 years.
Now let's take a bit by bit.
Okay.
But I want to look. You may not be an economist, but you listen to the president and you have noticed and seen what the government has done in terms of civilization, in terms of the economy, the exchange rate, the GDP, inflation, all of those. When you listen, you saw the numbers the president spoke of, and people say yes, the economy is getting better, but there are issue of bread and butter. And I said to somebody, when you say bread and butter, and you're putting bread in butter in the bread to somebody, it's about your emancipation from one sector to the other. You have go farm to market road and you can carry your produce to the market itself and bring, you get money and go back to your home. Or it's about the provision of electricity that will make your food that you bring from the market that doesn't get rotted. These are the bread and butter issues. But people say when you say bread and butter, I mean that you must put more rice in the market. So you listen, you have the numbers. Let's hear from the economy. About the economy.
I've always been around folks from the Ministry of Finance. Okay, and like the president squarely laid it, when he came to power, there was already a precedent for economic disaster. Let me quote that. The president said that on Monday. And that was because when the president took power, maybe he didn't mention that on Monday, but when the president took power on January 22nd, 2018, there was no money in the government's consolidated account to even pay for January. What the government met under $15 million. Consummated, if you consummated Liberian dollars, which was just 514 million Liberian dollars and 7 million US dollars, if you consummate it, they could not pay civil servants for the month of January, meaning the first month the president took power. So there was already a ground for economic disaster. How did we manage to even start paying civil servants in the president's first year? You understand that? And we met a rate disastrously at between 175 to 180.
180, yes.
Yes, 175. It was 180, right?
Yes.
It was 180, right?
180, yes.
But when the president took power, the rate went from 180 to 200 because there was already 115.5 billion Liberian dollars printed and dumped in the market. Right? And so you had more Liberian dollars chasing few United States dollars because UNMIL had already pulled out. Depriving the country of about $150 million a year, US dollars a year. That was our currency, United States dollars. We had most of those companies parking the Burkina Renewable Energy that have parked since 2013. We had Putu Iron Ore Mining that have parked since then. Grand Jida County. And so the economy was based on, it was a Liberian dollar economy. We had no US dollars in the economy. And so we have over 25 billion Liberian dollars on the market already because $15 billion was printed, 15.5 billion was printed with the existing one that was in the country. So you could not even see United States dollars. And so that was a recipe for economic chaos. And so what did the president do? At that time, the government was still borrowing to pay civil servants when the president made an economic policy speech that his government would no longer borrow money from the central bank for its short-term liquidity needs. And that was the beginning of the stabilization of the Liberian dollars. And so that's something about the economy, and the government decided to revitalize the economy, to stretch it out. You see, I will always say a big thank you to Madam Emma Glasgow. Through the instrumentality of the president, she grabbed a rough diamond in the dirt and brought her and made her Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture.
I was listening to her this morning from Morocco.
That lady,
from Morocco, she's there.
that lady with the
signing
support
a
of the
milestone agreement with the government of Morocco.
that lady with the milestone achievement, with the support of the president, she has been able to organize a sector that is worth $15.5 billion in the next 5 years. The fishery sector is a very, very lucrative sector right now. The last government did not consider that. And so in the next 5 years, if fishery alone, Liberia could raise $1 billion or over $500 million a year in fishery. Okay, and that is about revitalizing the economy. And so if the president said he met a precedent for economic disaster, that was what he was speaking about. And at the end of the day, the president was able to stabilize what we call the government its own payment system, right? We are now where we want to get. Okay, but you have people here receiving $15,000, $25,000. I learned that one government official here was being paid $25,000 a month.
22,000. Bianca Sali from Maritime.
$22,000 a month.
Yeah,
$15,000. In fact,
50,000 for the managing director of the National Port Authority.
We succeeded a government in which some deputy ministers and ministers have set their own salaries. I told the president, this is what I want to get paid. I want to get paid $10,000, $15,000. When the president came, he said, no, we cannot develop like this. In order to build our roads, to build our public infrastructure, I don't think we can continue this. And so the president, through the instrumentality of the IMF, collectively, they brought about the harmonization, because the IMF, I'm told the IMF had said the government should lay out over 25,000 civil servants. And the president called his technical economic management team and told them that, look, this is a recipe for disaster. We cannot lay out 25,000 public sector employees. We need to keep them on the payroll. And to keep them on the payroll, we need to find a way, right? And at the end of the day, that's how the harmonization came about, the wage harmonization. They told him that, look, in order to keep them on the payroll, we need to reduce wages so that everybody can get spread across the board, so that those people can remain in government. Because imagine a country with already a limited private sector, employment, taking 25,000 Liberians off the payroll, that would have been a very disastrous consequences for the country. You would have seen people protesting all in the street every month. If that harmonization had not been done, Jallah, people would have gone 12 months here without a pay. Because there were few people already receiving $11 million in general allowance, in special allowance alone. The special allowance payroll before the government was about $11 million. General allowance payroll was over $18 million. Then before we come to salary, so the wage bill alone on the government was around $332 million. The government said, no, you can't be receiving general allowance, special allowance, and salaries at the same time, where over 80% of our national budget is going through recurrent expenditure. Salaries alone was carrying over 63% or 64% of the national budget. The government said, no, we can't continue that. How can we build our roads? How can we build our energy sector? We can continue that, And so the harmonization was done, and you see the roads that have been built here. The Johnsonville Road, I'm getting information that the Johnsonville Road is being electrified right now, right? You got roads all across the country. Ganta to
What I know about is
Ganta
that
to San-
they have the street lights there. It's been almost some months now, but it's not. I've not seen it being put on yet. Maybe from the other side. Let me
No, I mean, what I mean is that street lights have been
Yeah,
mounted.
street
Lights have been mounted.
The street lights have been there.
The street lights have been mounted.
So,
So that's electrification of the road. And also the 72nd road. Street lights have been mounted there. And so that's how the president, after the harmonization, you see roads being built. You see other public infrastructure, the bridges being built. And you talk about bread and butter issue, right?
before we go to the bread and butter issue, let me welcome the Deputy Director General at the EPA, the man who is involved with climate issues.
Son of the
Ronald
bushman.
Dubayu, son of a bushman. But let me say welcome to the show, Ma'am Monica Vanny, my old man from there in New Georgia. You following the show. Many of you are still following right now, and I hope that you continue until the show ends. The son of a bushman has just entered the studio, a young intellectual and a member of the CDC from the New Week. Let me say welcome, Mr. Dubayu. How are you?
Thank you, Jallah Grayfield, and I'm glad to be in your studio.
Is that the sandwich shades on your face, that glasses?
Yeah.
The son of a bushman. Welcome, man.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
go ahead. Let him take a breath, then we can go to him. What you are talking about, the bread and butter issue.
Yeah, the bread and butter issue. Electricity, for example. I was in Bombay since Sunday, okay? All of the villages and towns along the Bombay Road, the Bombay Highway, everything is electrified. I was shocked when I reached the Toppenberg. An old lady came to me and she said, Mr. Minister, I want you to be in my house until you go back. I said, what? She said, yeah. And in the morning, that lady will bring her percolator, plug in,
And fix the tea for you.
fix my tea, make my hot water. I take bath. That is in Toppenberg. And Rabosport is the same. And so the expansion of Liberia's electricity grid, and the current on that side is even stronger than the one in Monrovia. You understand that? So imagine electricity in Bombay County, electricity in Cape Mount, Margibi to a larger extent, So we are that is a bread and butter issue. That is a bread and butter issue because people are no more living in the dark. You go to Rwanda Street right now, you're not going to see people buying generators. Even businesses are making more profits right now because they are not using generator. They are using the national grid. And so as a result of that, they make a lot of money, a lot of profits, and they pay their taxes to government on time. Government generates more revenue to build more. And in Monrovia, even Central Monrovia, right now, the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, Jallah, I think they have concluded changing all of the old pipes, that were there for over 45 years.
Yes.
Prof. Dwana Kamara and his team have done a marvelous good job. You go to Central Monrovia right now, the people are now using pipe-borne water for the first time post-war. And so that is a bread and butter issue. Bread and butter issue is not only to buy bread or bring rice and people to eat and everything. At the end of the day, the country remains underdeveloped. No.
Mr. Minister, thank you. Let me pause you there. Shaka Sharif, Assistant Minister at the Ministry of International
Affairs.
Ronald Dubayu is here. He's the Deputy Director General at the EPA, the young scientist. These are guys working on climate change in this country. And while I'm married, is scientific shades he has in his face, his glasses. Mr. Director, welcome.
Thank you very much, Jallah Grayfield, and to get a record, I'm the Deputy Executive Director.
Oh,
you guys got Director General.
Oh, okay.
We have Executive.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm the Deputy Executive Director. I'm the only deputy there, so there's just one deputy, and I play both technical and administrative role. And while Assistant Professor Wosinke Tape in discharging the function of the Environmental Protection Agency. And let me quickly say, sorry to the audience and you for coming late. It's a legal excuse to be late because tomorrow It's War Environment Day.
I just saw
now,
the release
War
not too long
War
on the
Wetland Day.
website.
A War Wetland Day tomorrow, and we are celebrating the War Wetland Day in Marshall City and within the Marshall's wetland. And also, coincidentally, tomorrow, you remember the president at the State of the Nation address, he talked about elaborate being a safe haven for climate change and initiating the conversation around the carbon market. You know, he referenced his speech in Glasgow where he highlighted the essence and need to keep promoting the market and non-market mechanism on the Paris Agreement. And so Liberia being a carbon sink, Liberia having a lot of carbon advantage, we think we should have a fair share around the table. So as a president, he has been a champion in ensuring that people are made to pay for the fair share. So tomorrow, that conversation, that dialogue, it will be presided over by the president of the Republic of Liberia at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex in Concord Town. So I came in late because I was preparing for tomorrow. You know, the call came in, I think around 3 to invite me here. So there were competing priority. Everything were very important. So I need to balance it.
Having said that, Mr. Minister, you listen to the president. I know you are in attendance as well.
Yeah.
You've read the speech, if not in totality, but I will give you 5 minutes, so give your perspective on the president's sona, the issue he addressed as he moves to 2023 October, when he's taking a second mandate, which you are supporting.
So thanks to my dear, my Irud, or I'll say Eridad comrade, Isiaka Sharif, who is an intellectual par excellence, and I was monitoring him. In fact, I did accelerated my rate of driving because I knew he was in studio. I said, but there's no need to rush because Isaka Sharif is already in studio. So let me start from where he did not hit. And firstly, in every nation, what you need is peace. Peace and tranquility. You need peace. Peace is the first and foremost benchmark for every nation. President George, we have highlighted the essence and the need for us to maintain the peace of our country. The last time Liberia fought war was in 2003. That's about 20 years ago. Most of the people that will be voting this election were not born at the time President at the time the war ended in 2003. Most of the first-time voters that have turned 18 2 years ago, and I will be voting that I have turned 20 this year, were not born when the war ended in 2003. President Weah highlighted the need for peace, the need for the opposition political party out there to start using young people as a pawn, the need for political actors over there that have successfully failed this nation to stop jeopardizing the chances of young people to progress, to grow, and live in a nation that has been created that everyone can get what they want. He highlighted the essence of peace. It's part of the fact we are going to an important democratic process. The Germans will unfold. What President Weah highlighted on his peace message is the need for young people to not be used as stooges for people, political aggrandizement and and altruistic or egoistic interest, right? There's an egoistic interest. He highlighted that. He highlighted the need for youthful participation in a peaceful contest. And this is our time. Going out the days that we sit around and make older people who are in their 70s, 80s, 90s to make decisions. There is no future when the young people who have the energy, who are qualified, competent, capable, and willing to work are not given the stage to serve. President Weah was sending the message that he do not want anybody to come and derail all of the games that have been made where young people have been given a platform. He highlighted the issue about a young lady called Beninka, who in all for the 8 years is elected as the first female president of the Federation of Liberian Youth. He highlighted the issue of Vice President Joel Howard Taylor serving as the vice president of his regime. He highlighted the issue about peace and election. There is no political prisoner, and you know about the Abdullah Kamara bill. He highlighted this key issue on the tenets of democracy. He highlighted the fact that of all of the African leaders that went to Washington, D.C., he was selected to speak with President Joe Biden. That suggests Liberia's democratic credential. If Liberia was a paradise of tyranny, if Liberia was a paradise where people were suppressing freedom of speech, where Labour was still saying our constitution. Jallah, I remember your station was closed down before when you were at Love FM. At some point in time when you guys were Radio Verita and maybe
It was not just Love FM, it was Love FM Power TV.
Power TV.
Kings FM.
These bad days, this bad memory of suppression or oppression on critical voices are not occurring today under the watch of President George Weah. Those were key things he highlighted that I went home sleeping. And of course, I don't want to get to my climate change issue yet because I know you have your question on that. He highlighted something on climate change, but I know you got a specific question on that. I came in, I just met my brother talking about the bread and butter issue, and you were very far-sighted in defining what bread and butter issues are. And bread and butter is not to give you tea every morning, no. It's to create a conducive atmosphere where people can live, where people can adequately, vent for their daily living without harm, without cohesion, and without suppression. So under this key bread and butter scenario, I can tell you that the president highlighted the issue about the control of fuel. You remember we've kept the fuel price stable for nearly 50 months before the war in Ukraine. And I need not to emphasize the importance of that situation because Ukraine is one of those big powers in Europe, and Russia is a big power in Europe, and it has thwarted the flow of fuel oil on the world market. And of course, we have let go 10 million annually, from taxes on fuel, and that was intended to stabilize fuel prices to avoid the long queue. You remember we experienced in 2019-18. This thing are no longer occurring, and then $14 million over the last 2 budget years have been used to subsidize rice importer. All around the sub-region, we saw people selling rice, the minimum of $18, $20, and you list the rice. But when this president came to power, the rice price was around $16.50, and consistent with his pro-poor agenda, and on the first thematic era on the pro-poor agenda is power to the people. When power are given to the people should not struggle to buy their stable food. So what did the president do? He governors, he brought together these business tycoon and rice importer. He talked to them on the essence of subsidizing. So the money they were supposed to put there to make profit, the government was taking that shock, taking that burden, East Sherry. So we're talking about 14 million over the years. And so that has been done. These are real direct bread and butter issue. And also, that was happening in the era of COVID. We were still subsidizing import of rice. In the era of COVID, you talk about bread and butter issue, people were sitting home. Only essential workers were going home. And only a few entities that have the term of reference and the mandate to fight COVID were out there. But every civil servant was paid. These are bread and butter issue over the years. We're talking about the connection of 130,000 households or 780,000 individuals to EDC grills since 2018, increasing Liberia electricity access to more than 30%, the highest in the post-war era. These are core, high core, tangible, visible, traceable bread and butter issue that the president highlighted. We're talking about using $65 million to bring electricity under the Transco arrangement. These are bread and butter issue because the man in Bokonjide who doesn't have access to electricity, he will not study. If he doesn't study, he will pass. Meaning his mom has to use the same money to pay school fee next year. That money should have been supplemented for something else. So students today, there are other people who making cold water. They were buying ice and the prices were up. Now they do not have to buy ice because the little freezer in their home can produce.
You are gradually learning into the economic issues I asked a colleague about earlier.
Yeah.
Now, what about the economy? You saw the numbers. The president talked about his engagement with the IMF and other international institutions, XYZ, where our GDP is better off, and whether our exchange rate is okay, and then the numbers are okay. What will you say about the economic issues?
But Jallah, the economic issue is on course. It's glaring, Jallah. You look at the fuel price on the pump. Look at the pump price of fuel. It was up, but right now I think it's on average $5. It's glaring. Look at the exchange rate. It was stable. It was very, very stable and remained stable for almost 13 months. It remains stable. Look at the price of rice. Look how much you pay for school fees. Look how much people pay at the university, bro. These things are real. Look at the subsidy we've given to agriculture and farmers around. And look at IMF. IMF authority have said Liberia has managed to keep a program broadly on track by preserving macroeconomic stability and ensuring comfortable international reserve position. This has maintained Liberia debt stability. And of course, this is a favorable condition that have made IMF to appraise Liberia and have promptly been followed by the transfer of $22.1 million to the Central Bank of Liberia to increase the nation reserve. These are all tangible economic issues that have been seen through the intervention of the president. So there is nothing theoretical. We've also been able to directly, to directly have impact on agriculture and fishery that my brother was talking about. We have provided up to 60 farmers. We've provided them food security material to increase productivity, and then ongoing work are on more than 200 kilometers of feeder road to connect farm to market road to agriculture actors in our country, and placing Labrador forest reserve at the center of climate change. So these are positive steps and indicators of economic growth. Economic growth is look at the confidence in your currency. A Liberian dollar now has value as compared to our neighboring countries around. Look at the rate. So now people are transacting more in Liberian dollar than United States dollar. People are using mobile money transfer. You know what happens when people use mobile money and electronic transfer? You don't have more cash rotation, and when that doesn't happen, it means depositor money are sitting in the bank where they can loan it to other people and make profit, and it circulates. That's a circular flow of the economy. And now economy, I'm a practical environmental scientist, but there are little things that when they are glaring, you even as an environmentalist, you can easily communicate that, and that's how I'm easily communicating this.
Thank you, Mr. Director. I will go to Ishaka Sherry to talk about road connectivity. Earlier he talked about the president or the government connecting more roads in the history of the country than any other government has done since 1822. Then I will come in and ask question about the petitioning ceremony on Saturday. You from the youth people's side, Mr. Donald, you will come into that. Then we'll go in line and tweak on other issues. Now tell us about the issue of road. I know that the president has boasted of a road. And you gotta be a rocket scientist to know what is happening in our road sector. People say the coastal road is not really, it's not connected yet as well. So where are we in terms of
the president said the coastal road is still in sight. Fundings have already been secured for some of those roads. And if you look in the southeast, when the president was speaking, the president said this government has done like from Fishtown, River G County, all the way to the border with Côte d'Ivoire. The government did that. Right now, Ganta to Saclay-Pied, from Ganta to Saclay-Pied first, right? It is comprehensively funded by taxpayers' money. It is not a project of any international people. It is being constructed with taxpayers' money from
Liberian taxpayers?
Liberian taxpayers' money. Liberian taxpayers' money. From Saclay-Pied to Tapeta, it will be jointly done by the government of Liberia and the World Bank. From Tapeta to Zreju, the president's fundings have been secured to also do that. And the corridor between Sanikwali to Lugatu, pavement is ongoing right now. Over 25% of the road has already been paved. From between Ganta to Sanikwali. From Ganta to Sanikwali, that road is moving fast, and is moving fast like a lightning. Okay, it was not there before. Then in Nimba, the farm to market roads. If you go to different corridors, there are roads being done. The machineries are on roads in districts, in clans, roads being done all over the place in Nimba. And that's why when somebody says the people of Nimba will not vote for the president, in our non-Liberian, I just laugh. I just laugh. Yeah. Then come to Montserrat County, for example. Come to Montserrat County. Johnsonville, the little stretch between Bannersville and Cardwell, that Ditchville area, is almost completed. I passed there even today before coming to town. It's almost been completed. The Banjo, from Iron Gate to Banjo, all the way to Hotel Africa side, has been completed. You understand that? The Bishop Marco Francis Road, the Simako to Tusa Field, the Simako to Patience Shop. Look, the entire rehab where, for example, the former vice president lives, that place is almost like Europe. That place is almost like Europe. The entire rehab is almost entirely paved with either concrete or asphalt. Then let's go between Rubbersport and Medina and Rubbersport. The asphalt plant has just been constructed. The roads is being put in size to get paved. The Bomi County Road to Topmanburg is being rehabilitated. I just came from there last night. It's being rehabilitated. Okay, and other roads in the country, bridges like the bridge that collapsed the last time in the Firestone area. The government redid it. Alongside with the company or so.
Ralphie to
15 gate area.
Yeah.
And currently, from Coca-Cola factory to ELW Junction, road is on. This is where we are. That road is on. Currently, as we speak to you, the Rubbersfield to ELW Junction road is under rehabilitation to be extended to a 4-lane road to be well electrified. In Margibi County, the president just announced that all of the streets of Margibi will soon commence pavement. And so the roads are going on all across the country. It's like an earthquake, you know. By the time this year will have ended, Jallah, you're going to see most of those roads completed and dedication by the president will be done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me welcome again back to the microphone, Mr. Ronald Dubayo. You want to just touch on the road connectivity, then I will go and will ask, then you can just end with the issue of the Saturday program, which is a very elaborate one. And I know you are from the youth wing of the CDC. You can talk about that as you prepare the people.
Thank you. So,
Easy member now.
yeah,
As a committee member now.
yeah. So, I'm the immediate past co-chair for welfare of the youth league. You know, with the party just held a convention. I was one of those who contested in that convention. And
Yes, I follow very well.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry for
that's fine.
I'm sorry for lowering you.
No, I'm still a youth league. I've been in the youth league leadership since 2011. So the youth league is I know it and it knows me. I might be in on the national executive committee, but my age range still put me in the youth league. But I'm just fortunate to, so I'm representing the youth league there technically. So, but I'm the deputy secretary general for research and record of the party, the national party at the national level. So I will get to that program. The role, I think my colleague have adequately talked about that, and I just like to stress that the president, adequately talked about that. He talked about the 45 kilometer of road that have been paved and from Banga to Salaye, and the 20 kilometer that has been paved from Kanta to Seke PA, and 31 kilometer of roads from Sani Kodi to Lokatu. These are things that the people in Nima can go and say, okay, that lie. These are tangibles that you can trace. There's no way I can lie on road that is not in Nima County. There's no way I can tell you, say, the 30 kilometer road between Kanta and Yekepa corridor is being paved when it is not being paved. Because somebody in Kanta right now is listening to me, they could easily call. You know, so again, there's another 40 kilometer of road between Tapetan and Totam, and that is from Nima to Granjide County. This road is there. Now, the road between Totam and Zwadu, we could not talk about it because there was no funding. Now the president has announced it's a 75 kilometer of road. He has announced that full funding has been secured. So we can talk about what is not available. No, we will not talk about the 110 kilometer of road corridor between Falcon and Zwadu. And you know, which procurement has been done right now to start pavement. And also we will not tell you about the 115 kilometer of road from Plibo to Boa and Kiken to all the way the 130 kilometer of road from Ziatan all the way in Zwadu. That is the Kunema people road from Putu Penukin all the way to Konya to Vondiman. These roads are available. People can call from there and testify. So I don't want to dwell more on this because these are real tangible. What I want to talk about before moving forward to the issue about the program is to expand a bit. Maybe because we own role. Somebody out there who is in a health setup might be concerned and say, but the president said nothing about health. So where can I see myself in health? Oh no, if you did not listen to the president. Now let me quickly remind you about those in Magibi County who are benefiting from the 14th Military Hospital, which has been fully constructed. And also let me remind you about the Emory Hospital that has been built in Babulu County in Western Liberia to give service to the pregnant woman who, when I went to Grand Jide last week, I saw, not last week, but last month, I saw her struggling on the motorbike to be transferred to Tapeta. And also hospital has been built in Zoju as well to cater to the regional area there. So in the western area, I was telling you about that hospital. The pregnant women there in Babulu now no longer have to worry. That's a referral hospital where surgeries will be done, and in the worst case, they might be referred to Morovia if the need be. So for those of you in the health sector, these are issues that we can talk about. The new Redemption Hospital, it is under construction. New modern Redemption Hospital. So if you think you did not hear yourself in the president's speech, this is an expansion of what the president said. Then doctors' monthly payment has been increased from $700 United States dollars to $2,000 United States dollars. So the doctors out there who was making just 700 Siakai, just 700, Jallah Grayfield, 700. That doctor has had a 1,300 increment in his take home, in what he takes home to his family. That has been increased, and that was done not by the past government. No, it wasn't done by those who were acclaimed as educated, as verbally extravagant leaders. No, it was never achieved by people with the most fabulous voice on radio who were talking like people who are victims of verbal diarrhea. No, that wasn't achieved by those people. It was achieved people who might just run with no solution. Just talk because it's easier to talk than to do, right? It wasn't achieved by those people. It was achieved by a patriot, a nationalist, a man from slum to stardom, a man who went through the corridor of vertical social mobility. This man understands the real issue. There's the man who in the space of just 5 years have done this. And then we have also sent 19 doctors abroad for specialized training, whether they may say bone doctors, eye doctor, people who specialize in kidney issue. No, of course, I need not to tell you about dialysis clinics that have been refurbished at the JFK, where people now do not have to leave the country to go and do the dialysis because that is very much expensive. And of course, they added onto the payroll of additional 2,500 health workers after donor pulled out. The government of Liberia showed that as a responsible government and say, these are my citizens. If the panels cannot handle them, I will handle this. And so the government transitioned and took that burden, that extra burden. All of these things happen at the time government was reducing pay. All of these things happening at the time me rendered over you. A deputy in government, I have an equivalent of a deputy minister. But since I came to this government for over 5 years now, the car I ride is Toyota 2016 Fortuner. That car has not been changed. And I'm happy with that. Because you know why? The first cabinet retreat we went to in Grand Bassar, the president told us emphatically clear that you did not come to power for wealth to accumulate luxury. You have come to serve. So you have to work in a confine, in a circumference of what you have. Okay. So since then we haven't been giving card, but we are happy, adequately, joyfully doing Liberian people work because the president, he doesn't support the issue about extravagance.
The last 5 minutes, I want us to use the 5 minutes. I will not take a call. I want to use the last 5 minutes to talk about Saturday's program. You are very much attached to the CDC, and you know what is happening. What's happening on Saturday?
So Saturday, the people of Liberia, over 1 million people, over 1 million people who have sat and gone through leadership, gone through stages of political paradigm shift. They say, okay, this man just in a period of 6 years have waived wire fees. This is what's going to be happening on Saturday. People say by themselves, Liberians, and say, okay, just in the corridor of 6 years, we see Universal Liberia people going there free. Saturday, what you're going to be seeing, you're going to see people converging to validate that they are pleased, they are okay with the state of affairs of the country on Dr. George Manawia. People are converging on Saturday to say, we are pleased with the fact that you have reduced lawmaker pay. Chief Justice, member of the Supreme Court, member of the judiciary branches of government, or the judicial branch of government, pay have been reduced. People are converging to say, we are happy. The fact that you have announced that the minimum wage must be adhered to. people a conversion on Saturday to say, Mr. President, thank you. Nobody else here is competent. Nobody else here is qualified. Nobody else here is experienced. Because by next year, by this year election, only Manaseri will be experienced president. We are in terms of the presidency. Because she's the only person who have tasted it twice. He had tasted it once and he's around. So other than she and Mr. Chancellor who is in jail, no Liberian is qualified than George Weah. No Liberian has an experience than George Weah in terms of the presidency, because he's the only president of everybody that are contesting that have tested the presidency. They are going to be saying, we don't trust these people, Mr. President. It is you that we trust with continuity, because we are not too sure that when you leave, those people that come in will maintain
So Saturday is a big program that brings
together Liberians, 1 million Liberians. They are coming to nominate President George Weah to say, we are pleased with your leadership. Keep on. Go on. Continue. Keep building roads. Keep building hospitals. Keep buying ambulances. Keep bringing in fire trucks. Prior to us coming to power, we have less than 5 fire trucks. Now you should ask how many fire trucks we have. Right? Before, people of West Point were vulnerable. They were being encroached on by marine transgression and sea erosion. Today, President, we have secured 25 million from the GCF, the Green Climate Fund, and closer intervention is being made there. No, the people of Sando County, today we secure about 10 million United States dollars from the GEF, the Global Environment Facility, to make intervention there in Sando County. The people in Nikutan know what happened during the coastal add-on project in Nikutan to save the D2 High School. So all of this developmental initiative, of course, you can see vividly the developmental initiative from here to RIA. Since the foundation of Liberia, no president has thought about expanding that role. So Saturday program in short, Jallah Grayfield, the people are conversion to say, President, we back you. We want you to continue your presidency, because it is only you, who understands what we are feeling. It is only you that we trust. We don't trust somebody who is battling to even stand. No, we don't trust somebody who has a lifestyle that they are fighting. We don't trust these people who only left from the Coca-Cola store. They say they want to be president. We don't trust these people. Who we trust is President George Mano. We are Bogugbe Fokikon. You know that name. I want you to pronounce it well, right? This is the name we trust. That's the essence of that.
Let me come as the process up. But let me welcome the Deputy Director General for Media Services, Sobot George, and Cecilia Gligley-Clark, who have just arrived in the country. They come from Dubai, where they signed a milestone agreement with a company there from LBS as in partnership with LBS. Let me hear from you just as a close up.
Yeah, so for the Saturday's program, our people are going to converge, like Director Dubayu said, going to come from all across the country. In fact, there will be simultaneous program across the entire country in regions. Cape Mount, Bomi, Bapolu, we have their own program. Grand Jude and other counties in the southeast. People will be having that program in Lofa. People will be having programs in Grand Bassa County. People from Riverside will convert on Buchanan to have a simultaneity of the program in Grand Bassa County. And so at the end of the day, we expect over 1 million people to petition the president, to renominate the president, to run for a second term. And because they say they believe him, they believe in him, they believe in his leadership, they believe in his far-sightedness. He's the most qualified and competent person to run the country. And the people of Lofa are saying, oh, you have started our road already, and so we are giving you a second term to continue on the path, on the irreversible path you are to do the Lofa road. And as I speak to you, the road has just crossed the St. Paul's Bridge. The road is currently in Lofa County now.
Okay.
The whole salary end is almost already done. The roads in Lofa County. And so the people are going to come out to say, Mr. President, we are satisfied with you and we want you to be our president. Yes, thank you.
I will find 2 hours to bring you around about you again. Hopefully before the month ends.
Yes.
My name is Jallah Grayfield. I'm the nation's helmet J. Remember Jallah Grayfield, chapter 1, verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk and never shall we fight. I'm the nation's helmet J. My 2 guests on the show have been Rhonda W., Deputy Executive Director at the EPA, and Assistant Minister E. Shaka Sharif of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Have a good